Titans with more customizations. Also included are new Titan loadouts and combat skills like the grappling hook, pulse blade, and more. What the original promised is here. A polished game with all the right components, responsive controls, good graphics, memorable story, and exciting multiplayer. It has a play score of 8.95. Ninth in the list is Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator. Can you imagine that there are over 16 Guilty Gear games ever released since its inception? Xrd Revelator is the sequel to Xrd Sign. It must have been a good dev period for Arc System Works. Experience a glorious 60 frames per second battle with over 20 playable characters to choose from. Unleash your bedazzling moves, show your skills, and defeat your opponent before someone else grabs that controller. It's one excellent fighting game with all those flashy strikes and finishing moves, and even insta-kills. Critics have applauded this game for its colorful cel-shaded visuals, fast-paced combat, and tons of characters from the old and the new. It has a play score of 8.97. Number 8 in the ranking is The Day of the Tentacle Remastered. Let's step back a decade earlier and appreciate LucasArts' wonderful graphic adventure game. This was very popular during its time, and good news for nostalgia seekers, it hits the PS4 with no sweat. Originally called Maniac Mansion 2, follow a group of friends as they stop an evil purple tentacle from taking over the world. Sounds crazy, right? Yeah. The game uses a puzzle-based mechanic for players to progress various levels, and not to mention its time travel element. Players can travel between different time periods just to stop that tentacle. Believe it or not, this game was once inside a floppy disk. Critics have lauded this game for its quirkiness, good art style, and of course, its good remastered version. It has a play score of 8.97. Number 7 in the list is Rise of the Tomb Raider 20th Anniversary Edition. To celebrate Lara's 20 years of existence in gaming, Crystal Dynamics' timed exclusive feature from Microsoft has ended. The PS4 users finally get the chance to play this action-packed game. Follow Lara on her quest to find a secret that could change the course of the world. She'll climb mountains, scour caves, and fight bears in its snowy Siberian setting. The gameplay feels more dynamic compared to its predecessor since it's twice bigger. New stealth and crafting mechanics are introduced to the game, not to mention an additional story DLC to reward the players who bought this edition. Rise of the Tomb Raider is praised for being one of the most beautiful games to date, from its adrenaline-pumping action sequences to its beautiful Siberian world to explore. It's such a treat for longtime adventure fans. It has a play score of 8.99. Sixth in the ranking is Ratchet & Clank. PlayStation's favorite buddies are back in an all-new reimagined form. Follow Ratchet and his mechanical pal, Clank, in a grand adventure that is a direct tie-in to its animated film of the same name. It was originally scheduled for release in 2015, but was delayed to cater the film. For old players, the game feels similar. You still control both characters as they defeat hordes of enemies and solve puzzles. For new ones, the experience would be amazing but not entirely unique. The whole world feels new and the game is a refreshing take on the franchise. It's praised for its visuals, fun combat, and great platforming designs. However, it's also criticized for the unnecessary movie tie-in. It has a play score of 8.99. Ranked number 5 is Odin Sphere Lifthrasir. This HD remake of the classic PlayStation 2 favorite is a gift from the gods. Lifthrasir is a 2D side-scrolling brawler with direct inspirations from Norse mythology, Shakespeare, and fairy tales. There's also the obvious JRPG feel to it. Take control of 5 characters in different storylines as they set to find a powerful weapon that can destroy their world. Each of these 5 characters show unique stories, skills, and endings. This remaster is highly praised for its polished optimization, intuitive controls, and a detailed storyline. It's also one of the top remakes of 2016. It has a play score of 9.01. Fourth is Overwatch. Blizzard's award-winning first-person shooter calls out for more heroes. With over 23 characters to choose from, pick your style and get ready to commence in a slick and frenetic battle with your friends or anyone from around the world. Provided if they do stick to the payload, and you don't get salty. It's a fast-growing MOBA FPS and it's definitely becoming a standard for most competitive FPS games out there. Sorry, failed shooters. With the game's constant stream of updates, players will never get tired of the game's content. Just recently, Blizzard has released its holiday patch and it's delightful. It has a play score of 9.08. Third in the ranking is Inside. Playdead's next entry after Limbo comes with another monochromatic world to explore, albeit it's a more odd, mysterious, and crazy side-scrolling experience. Inside tells the story of a boy running away from a society falling apart. Players can control this boy as he solves puzzles, escape bloodthirsty hounds, or blend through a crowd of brain-dead humans. Much like Limbo, players get to die again and again to ultimately find a solution to the puzzle. You'll be surprised how brutal the death scenes are. Just be glad it's in black and white. With an ending so bizarre, you might want to play the game again and find out what you missed. Critics have praised this game for its attention to detail, minimalistic visuals, and a thought-provoking theme. It has a play score of 9.10. Number 2 is Dark Souls 3. From Software's latest installment of its brutal action-adventure franchise is its best and final Souls game to date. Control your character in his perilous quest in a land of darkness. Face off horrific monsters, both big, small, and colossal. Your dodge button is your best friend, so make sure you've customized your character from top to bottom. Intense gameplay makes up for everything. The game takes a few gameplay elements from PS4's Bloodborne while also retaining the game's core features of role-playing elements. Critics love the game's insane difficulty without sacrificing the gameplay issues and the game's glorious visuals, making it the Game of the Year from the Game Awards. Just recently, they released a new DLC, Ashes of Ariandel, which adds hours of new content for the player who wants to seek more challenge. It has a play score of 9.18. And here are the runners-up before we reveal the number 1. NBA 2K17. It's rare to find a sports game to be this high in the ranking, all thanks to 2K17's polished gameplay and the reintroduction of My Career, a play score of 8.88. Dragon Quest Builders. Who would have guessed? Pairing the Dragon Quest universe with Minecraft's building core would produce one interesting game, a play score of 8.88. Battlefield 1. It could be the better releases on the PS4. We thought this multiplayer shoot-fest set in the First World War would be higher up on this ranking. It has a play score of 8.88. Doom. This gory resurgence hits the bullseye in offering the finest single-player campaign of all of 2016's FPS releases with an entertaining multiplayer, a play score of 8.87. Res Infinite. This remaster of a rail shooter released 15 years ago on the PS2 stands out with all new content, 60 FPS, and full PlayStation VR support. It has a play score of 8.84. Salt and Sanctuary. This well-crafted platformer mixed with action RPG elements comes with a difficulty level that will remind you of the Soul series. A play score of 8.81. Final Fantasy XV. Despite the controversial story and some graphical issues on launch, this is still one good game that many series fans and even newcomers will enjoy. A play score of 8.77. Thumper. Rhythm, speed, controls, and blazing lights make this game a one-of-a-kind experience, and it's even better when played with the PlayStation VR. It has a play score of 8.77. Watch Dogs 2. After the disappointing first game, Watch Dogs 2 comes with a more solid gameplay. It's just more enjoyable. A play score of 8.75. The Last Guardian. A world of ruins filled with mystery and 2 unlikely companions. This is a game that's worth playing for the characters and exploration alone. A play score of 8.74. You can get these games right now by clicking the links in the description box below. And the best PS4 game of 2016 is Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Before Naughty Dog announced its beloved sequel to The Last of Us, we get to see Nathan Drake's final journey in A Thief's End. This time, follow Drake and his friends in a globe-trotting quest to find the lost city of pirate treasure. Danger lurks around every corner and intense action sequences await the player. Get yourself pumped in its new grappling hook mechanic to quickly maneuver between obstacles. This third-person adventure is one of the Naughty Dog's finest yet. It's universally acclaimed as being the best Uncharted game yet, primarily due to its human story, groundbreaking visuals, and redefining the console experience. It has a play score of 9.43, and it's the best PS4 game of 2016. We publish 3 gaming videos every week. Don't miss any of them. Click that bell button beside the subscribe button, check the send me box, and save. Don't forget to like and share this video to your friends. Subscribe now and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Google+.